Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and more. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. As you know, we've been following this Erika Girardi case since the new season of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills has begun. But there is more and more information coming out, especially after the Housewife and Hustler documentary. But another housewife in another city is coming to Erika Girardi's defense. But before we get into that story, Erika Girardi was pictured out and about getting gas and not looking her so glamorous self. As you know, on the show, it was popular for people to talk about Erika Jayne's $40,000 a month glam squad, including Mikey. Everyone's wondering, where's Mikey now? You know, on the latest episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, we do see that Mikey was still around. But is he still? As you know, Erika Girardi is facing a lot of lawsuits because of her marriage to Tom Girardi. It's way too many to get into. However, there is a new lawsuit, according to Radar Online, and they're exclusive. And let's take a look at what they're saying. So if you've been under a rock, Erika Jayne is tied because she's married to Tom Girardi and his cases of allegedly not paying his clients, you know, crash victims, burn victims, all kinds of victims. And he's still living this lavish lifestyle. With that being said, people are saying that Erika Girardi knew about it on some level. If she didn't know the nitty-gritty details, she has benefited from the money that he allegedly has stolen from these victims. In a new lawsuit, two lawyers accuse Tom Girardi of failing to pay them a cut of the money made on cases they referred to his law firm. They want $5 million in damages. Erika Jayne is a defendant because they believe she helped embezzle the cash. And the reason why people believe that Erika Girardi has involvement is because there was allegedly, I'm going to say allegedly, even though there is a paper trail, that Girardi and Keese, Tom Girardi's law firm, lent Erika Girardi $20 million to her EJ Global that manages her recording career. So this is how she has tied to a lot of these lawsuits, besides her being married to Tom. And a lot of people are wondering, when did Erika know? Maybe Erika didn't know over the last few years, but people are speculating in the last year she had to know something because of some of these lawsuits that she's tied in. We don't know. But a housewife is coming to her defense, and you would never guess who. Or maybe you would. Well, Candiace Dillard-Bassett is coming to Erika Jayne's defense. And this is the tweet that she shared. This is what she said. She said, "Y'all aren't loyal. You don't know what that lady knew. Just sending her to jail based on one thrown together documentary that was clearly meant to low-key villainize her. Reserve your judgment until the facts reveal themselves. Judge not lest ye be judged." But look, we'll get into the comments in just a second. But I just want to say this. Apparently, Candiace has not read all the details of some of these cases. As you know, Emily D. Baker dropped in on one of our lives last week to talk about the most breaking news where Erika Jayne's attorneys had dropped her. But now, later in that week, the attorneys either were paid or she started giving up the information that they need to defend her. They are now back on her case. But as you see, and if you've been following the Erika Jayne saga or the Erika Girardi saga, then you know there's a lot of smoke around Erika, based on what did she know? How much was her involvement? But one thing I have to say, I don't think a lot of people were saying send her to jail. Maybe Candiace saw a tweet or a couple of tweets that said, oh, lock her up, lock her up. I don't know. But I have to say the overall consensus is that, Erika, you need to either pay these people their money, because you are literally wearing things that were purchased with money that you don't know where the money came from. And I'm just going to say that you will purchase with these gifts that you're trying to hold on to was purchased with money that you're not sure where it originates from. Just saying. I'm trying to keep an open mind. But Candiace getting involved just reminds me of Chris recently getting involved. It's almost as if, yes, we know the new season of The Real Housewives of Potomac is coming. And now they're like, oh, let's get involved. Let's say something. But for me, the biggest, funniest part is the comments. Always, the internet never fails. So let's take a look at just some of the comments people were saying under this tweet. And shout out to our friends over at the Bravo Shade Room. One person says, Candiace, are you out here scamming? We don't know it, and we don't know it, because why are you coming to her rescue? Another person says the documents literally have her receiving millions directly from his firm, then transferring those funds to her music production, Erika Jane brand. And didn't Candiace want a black woman in jail just last year? Another person says, after her comments about Ashley Darby not receiving the same hate as her because she's light-skinned, I'm completely over anything Candiace says. We already reported on that story if you guys missed that. Another person says, Candiace, sweetheart, just sit this one out, sis. Shout out to our friends over at All About the Real Housewives. People were saying, that was sweet for Candiace to drop a statement, but then you realize the character she plays on her own show. Another person says, damn, they're really all blindly defending her, huh? Another person says, I don't even agree with that dress she has. Another person says this, I think she wasn't just aware, she was complicit. And every clip of her saying or showing how nice of a guy he was is all purposefully part of the scheme. Just like how the victims in the doc said he kept telling them he was a nice or good guy whenever he missed the payment. Another person says, get rid of Candiace. Another person says, oh, please, she knew. Another person says, whether she knew or not does remain to be seen, I guess, but she has been aware for some time now, like the rest of us. And I find her SM gross in light of that. She has no empathy for the victims from what I can see. Another person says, say that if your family they stolen from. Another person says, Candiace needs to stay out of it. Here's my thoughts in regards to this. Candiace has every right to say whatever she feels. Look, this is a free country, as I'm have a right to discuss it as well. But as I said to you before, part of me feels like this is just a ploy to get some attention, to get some light in regards to the Real Housewives of Potomac, to get some smoke. Candiace, simply to me, like we reported on the whole issue from when she was talking about her versus Ashley and how people receive them. Be it as it may, colorism does exist. Chris Bassett coming out against Up and Adam, getting themselves involved in a situation that has nothing to do with them. I feel like they're trying to get attention for this new season, and it's making me wonder what we can expect from the Real Housewives of Potomac. Why did Mia Thornton throw salad at Candiace this season? Are we going to not like Candiace this season? Look, I've always enjoyed Candiace in the early seasons. Yes, she's messy, the same way Ashley's been messy. But last season, it was a different kind of messy. And it was also a different kind of messy off screen. The things that I saw her do off screen, just the vile things that she said towards bloggers and fans. I was just like, this is too much. This is too much. But I'm not one of those people that feels as if Candiace doesn't need to come back this season. I'm open to Candiace coming back this season. Hear me out. I'm willing to give her another shot to bring something else, bring something different this season. But based on what we're seeing online, it doesn't seem as if she has any sort of self-awareness in regards to what she says or does. It does seem a little bit clout chasing, but maybe it's not. Maybe this is truly how she feels. A lot of people will say, you can't base sending Erika Jane to jail off a documentary. But I think people were feeling the same way before the documentary. If anything, hearing the victims talk about this and how Tom played them, allegedly, it does make you feel differently. It also makes you look at Erika Jane like, girl, you are trying to hold on to these bags and shoes and jewelry and money from a man that gave it to you. Look, Erika Jane does have her own money from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Yes, you should be able to keep that. I'll let you keep that. Partially, the only reason why you're on the show, though, was because of Tom and the lifestyle that he afforded you. So technically, they should have that too. But I'm going to give you grace. I'm going to give you grace. I've said this before. I've said it multiple times. I believe Erika should not give up everything. But girl, you need to give up. I wouldn't want it. Me personally, I would not want the bags, the shoes. I'm sounding like Fallon right now. But no, hear me out. I love nice things. However, if I saw that documentary, even before I saw that, if I heard that my husband allegedly had bamboozled his clients. And I also learned that an attorney of his nature, where he represents those types of clients, doesn't normally have 2 private airplanes and is able to live this lavish lifestyle. Then part of me be like, And then all the wonderful, beautiful things that he gave me over the years, I'll be like, I don't want the karma. I don't want the energy from these things, because it's only going to hurt me. And based on what we're hearing in regards to these legal cases for Erika Jayne, it's not going to be good, especially for her, especially because Tom is, claiming dementia and early onset Alzheimer's. So a lot of these debts and payments, they're people are looking at her, especially because she received a $20 million payment. Her company, EJ Global, received a $20 million payment from Girardi and Keese, his law firm. So either way you split it, this is not looking good for Erika Jayne. Candiace, don't get involved. Don't get involved. You're not a blogger. If you were a blogger and you were reporting on this, I'd be like, okay. But I also hear what Candiace is saying. We can't send Erika Jayne based off of the documentary, but everyone that's sending her to jail or saying that she should pay these millions is basing it really off of all of the legal cases and people like Emily D. Baker or Ronald Richards, who's involved in one of the cases right now. They're putting out the facts. They're putting out the facts as they see them, and it doesn't look good for Erika Jayne. I love hearing differing opinions in the comments. As always, let me know your thoughts on Candiace getting involved, this new lawsuit coming against Erika Jayne. And look, if you have a differing opinion, it's okay, but be respectful as always. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload.